What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I got Aiman with me. We are going to be talking all about Lucid. So I appreciate you joining, Aiman.
Thank you, Carl, for having me.
Oh, thank you. So a lot of people like to talk on the PIF, Saudi Arabia, and how it benefits Lucid, but I feel a lot of people don't fully grasp on how big Saudi Arabia is going to be going about and benefiting Lucid. And recently it was announced about the whole four new economic zones. And so I want Aiman to just briefly touch on that. So Aiman, if you would like to start off, I guess explain who you are and just say a little bit about yourself. And then if you'd like, you can talk
Okay.
on the economic zones.
Okay. Thank you, Carl, for inviting me to be with you today on this show on the financial journey. My name is Aiman, and I'm working on the EV infrastructure, the new field in Saudi Arabia. Well, regarding the recent announcement from Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman about the launch of special economic zones in Saudi Arabia, the zones actually are five. One is cloud computing and four physical ones. The aims of these zones are to attract foreign investment and establish Saudi Arabia as a global investment powerhouse at the heart of Middle East. We are going to go through the physical zones. The first one is the Ras Al Khair Special Economic Zone located in the eastern part of the country. Its objective to develop the maritime industry. The second one is Jazan in the Red Sea shipping route to and near growing African markets. It serves as a platform for Saudi Arabia China investment. The third one is the integrated logistics zone in Riyadh. It aims to make the capital city, the Saudi capital city, as one of the top economics in global. The fourth one, which is the most important for us as EV supporters, is the King Abdullah Economic City. This zone is the largest one, covering 60 square kilometers, along the Red Sea, where 13% of global trade passes through. The zone features the first efficient port globally, King Abdullah Port, and a 450 electric high-speed railway. Kayak is also less than 90 minutes from Jeddah International Airport and Jeddah City, home to over 4 million people, and I'm one of them. And Lucid AMP2 and SEER manufacturing facilities are under construction in this zone. So this zone is expected to be the future of automobile supply chain and assembly, with two more car OEMs expected to establish manufacturing facilities there. If we are going to explain what Lucid can be provided to be within this zone, Lucid will be provided with the world-class infrastructure and unique commercial incentives. The corporate income tax will be for the zone is 5%, zero custom duties, zero VAT, zero withholding tax, and also the system is flexible there and supportive regulation around the foreign talent from the Saudi government. Yes.
Oh, nice. And I believe, yeah, they just got the 3.4 billion in incentives. That's also for to build the AMP facility and for hiring. As far as hiring, what's like, for instance, the employment rate? Like, are they going to have a hard time finding skilled labor?
Uh, they already hired a lot of foreigners from out of the kingdom, and they are also start hiring from locally. I think they will not face a lot of problems as long as they have training and workshops for the new employment. The industry is new to Saudi Arabia, but the locals are very willing to educate, to learn the industry, to learn the technology as well.
Yeah, I believe there's also an MOU with Saudi Arabia and Lucid
Yes, yes.
for that.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Few days back. Yes.
yeah, exactly. So when it comes down to it, like for instance, you mentioned about the King Abdullah port. So you mentioned that that can obviously ship it to Africa and so forth. And where can that reach for cost savings to potentially deliver to international? Like, for instance, Saudi Arabia, what would be the best way to deliver to, for instance, Europe?
Sorry, again?
I guess given the circumstances, I know Lucid Amp facility was going to be delivering to Europe potentially. What would be the most cost-effective way from this location? Would it be through rail or through boat potentially?
From both. This is the location of King Abdullah Economic City is, as I mentioned, is very, very important. This is in the Red Sea, and the Red Sea is 13% of the global trade is passing through this port, from this Red Sea port, King Abdullah one.
Okay, so for cost savings, it'd be a lot easier.
Yes.
I think that's very good, and especially it can ship internationally. And Saudi Arabia, for the most part, is pretty central, and there's a lot of big money around Saudi Arabia.
You know, the location of Saudi Arabia is very good, and the country should take advantage of this, because you know it connects the Africa, Asia, and Europe at the same time. So this will be very good for KAIK, for Lucid AMP2.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you mentioned Syria as well was in this area. Do you see as much, I guess, development on their aspect versus Lucid? Like, are they being a little bit more ambitious?
Yeah, but you know they signed a contract with KAIK to establish the factory there just a few months back. I think they are going to start the infrastructure, the construction very, very soon. I don't think it will be competitive, but it's different target customers, you can say.
Of course. And have you been by the AMP facility, or have you taken a look at that ever?
Oh, the AMP2 facility is there is no direct access to it until now.
Okay.
It's in the mid of there is no direct or facilitated access route to the facility. I think only the construction company, the contractors are allowed to go there.
Yeah, I've seen a couple different pictures and videos and stuff like that.
Yes, from time to time, some pictures, some videos are presented in the media. So from there, we can see what is the process. But you know, we will go also to this. Faisal Sultan just a few weeks ago, he said that the production of AMP2 will start by end of this year. So they start also equip the equipment, build the production lines. So these are huge process there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think that's very exciting. I'm a big fan of Sultan or Faisal. Like he's very good. On a side note, before I get into any more questions, Aiman has a Twitter. So highly recommend you guys popping over there. It's going to be in the description below. So pop over to Twitter, give him a quick follow, because as you can tell, he has a lot of good knowledge that can be very much beneficial to a lot of investors. So definitely pop over there. I do have some. Yeah, of course.
You have other questions? Yes, go ahead.
I have tons of questions. So I guess generally your concept and your thought of Lucid, what do you think of the car?
Well, I must say the car is absolutely impressive. The interior is top notch with classy and high quality material that exude luxury. And let's not forget the performance. It's the best. I think it completely eliminates the range anxiety. I mean, what more could you ask for if you have enough cash for it?
Yeah, I know based on a couple, because like I said, I'm a fan of Faisal. He's done quite a few podcasts, and he did say in Saudi Arabia itself, I guess the infrastructure is similar to the States, where it's not really EV friendly, I guess, if you want to consider it that way. Do you see much development, like a lot more charging stations being put around? Like, do you see a lot of those advancements?
Well, there is a process on the EV infrastructure. Policy are already out and done. Yani. Policy. Can you repeat this?
Well, I was just going to say, in Saudi Arabia, is there like a lot of charging station? Is it easy for people to, and incentivizing for them to buy EVs? Like, is it easy for people to charge?
The infrastructure, there is a process in the infrastructure. The policy is there. Everything from different authorities, governmental authorities, the policy are already done and pronounced or announced, sorry. And but in terms of infrastructure, the DC charges and the highways is still not yet. We see the new project, the new constructions, residential or commercial or whatever, they all consider the EV charging loads in their calculation and their equipment. So there is a process. I think within maximum 2 years to 2025 infrastructure, we will see a very good improvement in the infrastructure.
Oh, that's good at least. As far as competition, do you see it competing with Tesla? And I guess locally as well, do you see, is there any other than maybe Syria? Do you see any other EVs that's going to be competing against Lucid in, for instance, Saudi Arabia?
I think, as I told you before, I think the target market is different. The target customers is different. Lucid is more into luxury, focusing on high-end models that compete with BMW and Mercedes, while Tesla has a broader range of electric vehicles from entry level to luxury ones. I see Tesla is more into technology, digital technology and software-based car. I saw also from my observation, Lucid is more for middle age and seniors, while Tesla is more for less than 35 years old customers.
Yeah.
So I don't see direct competition between them, unless Lucid introduce lower cost EVs.
Yeah.
As also was mentioned by 𝗖𝗧𝗪𝗧 few months ago in the podcast, that they will consider, or they will look into lower cost EVs.
Cool. I do have a couple more questions. Just generally, your own thought, but do you think Lucid is going to do better in Saudi Arabia versus, for instance, North America? Because in Saudi Arabia, there's a ton of money, and North America, I think people are still kind of iffy on the whole EV sector. So Saudi Arabia is really pushing the 2030 vision. Do you see Saudi Arabia demand exceeding North America's?
I think we can measure. We need to measure it also to the number of the people in both countries, and then the income side of these two countries.
It's a tough question.
I can't. Yeah. I think it will be the same.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be the same, but maybe with the incentives here, maybe the Saudis will have more Lucid than North America, maybe.
Yeah, I do think the Amp2 facility is going to be a little bit more of a priority, because they are so local and centralized, they can ship everywhere. So it's going to be a lot cheaper for Lucid to manufacture it at the Amp2 and ship it worldwide than North America. So I see that coming, maybe.
Yeah, especially it's when especially the AMB2 will be in the CAIC economic zone. So Lucid should take a big advantage of this.
No, definitely. And I guess one final question I have for you: what is something that you would like to see from Lucid in 2023?
Well, we would like to see Lucid Motors deliver more electric vehicles this year. The number of pre-orders is promising, but the quantity of delivered car is still relatively low. We hope that Lucid can quickly address any production or supply chain issues that may be hindering their ability to deliver more EVs. Additionally, we are anticipating that the start of production at MB2 by end of this year, as 𝗖𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗛 said, and I believe this will significantly boost the Lucid capacity to deliver more EVs in 2023.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I appreciate you. Yeah, tough questions, because there's a lot of things we don't know, but I think this is why
Yeah.
a lot of people do invest in Lucid, because they know, for one, Saudi Arabia is supporting them. And even though there might be some economic difficult times ahead, the PIF is going to ensure Lucid is a success. That's my thoughts, at
Yes.
least.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. As you see, the government is supporting by all means the Lucid Motors. So I think we just need to deliver more cars this year, so we hit the target.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Yes.
well, I appreciate you, Aiman. Once again, everyone, pop over to Twitter and give him a follow. Very, very knowledgeable individual, and definitely I'll have you on if you are willing in the future.
You're welcome. Thank you, Carl, for having me again.
Well, I appreciate everyone joining in, and you guys all have a good day. Thanks for watching.